Hey, this is Guy from New Plastic, and today we're going to be making cartoon skin. It's pretty similar to the other skin materials, but this time we don't have any texture maps. It's all going to be procedural because I love keeping things procedural, so that's cool. We're going to be doing 2 different skin tones, and I'm going to show you how to make moles because why not? Now, I created a pack of these materials. I have 5 different skin tones in the pack, and each skin tone has 4 versions. 1 clean, 1 with moles, 1 with freckles, and 1 with vitiligo. So you can either watch this tutorial or you can go to my Gumroad and purchase it. That helps me immensely. You can't imagine how much it helps me. So there you go. Follow me on Instagram at ojang. Comment, subscribe, share. All the support is truly appreciated. And with that being said, let's go. So I'm going to take 3 seconds to go over what I have in the pack. So you got 4 different versions for each skin, and you got varying degrees of darkness and skin tones. You got very light, you got medium dark, and you got dark. And you got the moles, you got the freckles, and you got the vitiligo. So pretty cool. And you can see how it works on other assets. And material is a bit complex, but you can play with it. I'm going to attach a video to the pack that explains how to work these textures. You can easily move around the moles and the freckles and control their size and all that. So yeah, pretty cool. And here's how it looks on a foot. And this is what you're going to download. You're going to have this project file with this wavy loop and all the skins at the bottom divided into 4 different layers for easy access and convenience. If you feel like you need it, go buy it. I have this simple scene here. I have a 0.5 power on the HDRI. I have a top light and a backlight. I have 16 specular depth is enough. The ray epsilon I ended up changing to 0.0001, which is a bit higher. And everything else is pretty much the same. I'm going to tick static noise. Camera imager exposure is pretty low. And we're on linear, 2.2 gamma, and denoiser is on. So I have this model that I created and rigged. And I'm going to make a separate tutorial next time on how to model these hands, these type of sausage finger hands, and rig them. So yeah, wait for that one. Now I'm going to set a universal material with BRDF model set at Octane because I found that it looks better for these types of kind of cartoony skin textures. And we're going to turn off the metallicness. And let's start setting the color. Now we want some variance on the color. So we're going to add a noise with a gradient node. And we're going to color the gradient node these kind of lighter skin, whiter skin colors. I'm going to give kind of a darker, slightly darker and a slightly lighter color. Then we're going to adjust the contrast on the noise. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to copy that noise, plug it to the roughness channel, and let's solo it. And let's attach to another gradient node and make it kind of dark. Make the noise a bit more rough. And we're good on that. Now we're going to set the specular pretty low, 1.16, but whatever you want. I've set it pretty low. I'm going to set the coating layer at 0.2 with a 0.35 roughness. IOR here is fine. We're going to set this IOR to 1.45. And we're going to copy this noise. We're going to plug that into the coating bump and the regular bump. And let's add a transform node and scale it way down. Let's zoom in so we can see what we're doing. And let's adjust the gradient to be very, very low contrast. So 45 and 50. Scale it down even more. And even more. And yeah, 48 and 50. They're almost the same color, but we don't want extreme contrast on the bump. Yeah, I turned it back to 45. Yeah, that looks fine. Now we're going to need a normal map. So you can either go to 3dtextures.me and get their skin texture. It's pretty small, but it's for free, and the normal map texture here is pretty good. You can just use the normal map from this material, or you can use the micronormals from the first white skin tutorial that I made, or we can keep it procedural. But for that, we're going to need a purplish noise, like a normal map type noise, and Octane doesn't provide that. So I found this post on the Octane forums by Milan M. Shout out to him. And he created this OSL texture that converts black and white images to normal map images, which is amazing. So I'll put the link to the post in the description. You can go there, click here to download. Once you download it and unzipped it, drag the OSL texture, take the external, and click on these 3 dots and put in choose the OSL file. And now you got the OSL system. So that's pretty cool. And we can now just copy this noise and use this black and white noise. We'll set it at chips and we'll play around with the octaves and gamma, scale it all the way down. And you can kind of see that it kind of looks like tiny skin bumps, the chips version of the noise. So let's play with the gamma and the contrast. Now it's important to set the projection to OSL delayed UV. That's important, remember that. I'm gonna drag that into the input of the OSL and then that into the normal. And let's solo that. And it looks kind of ugly. It's a bit too strong. First of all, we're gonna set the quality as low. That's good enough for us because it's so tiny. I'm gonna set the radius all the way down. That's already looking way better. And we're also gonna set the power all the way down. Basically, we want it to be very subtle. And you can play around with the scale and all those things. I didn't find any use for the other options there. And now let's play around with our noise map. Zoom in. I basically want to get more details from that noise, so we're going to turn the gamma down, and there you go. That looks really good. It's procedural. It's a normal map combined with our bump map. That adds a good variety. I'm going to set a texture projection set on mesh UV to the OSL texture because for some reason it automatically sets the projection on box. And we're good. See how it looks? When you zoom in so much, it's not the prettiest. Let's turn down the power even more. And I accidentally forgot to drag out the bump, so let's drag our regular bump to the bump. That's pretty cool. Let's see how it looks without it. I like the variety the bump gives us. So we're just gonna make it less strong and less noisy. That looks good. Okay, so let's drag a dirt node to the transmission. And we're also gonna set fake shadows in the common tab. And let's add the strength to 100. Let's play around with the radius, invert normal. And that's gonna make the edges black and the rest white. We want to invert that because we want to tell the edges to have more transmission, which means they need to be white. So now you see the edges have transmission and the rest doesn't. Let's play around with the tolerance. And we don't want the rest to not have any transmission at all. So let's set the black to red and the white to very, very, very light pink. And what I found is that the transmission type for these type of materials is better as diffuse. Just looks better. The SSS is more subtle. Yeah. So let's add a random walk to the medium. Let's drag a RGB spectrum, set it at a very bright red. Drag it to the radius. And let's set the density super low. You can play around with the density. I mean, obviously that depends on the scale of the model that you have. The fingers here are about 5 centimeters from one edge to another. So you can play around with the transmission. As you can see, when I set it at 50, I don't see any color in the transmission or SSS channels. So I'm going to turn it all the way down and now you can see it. So that tells you that it's working. If your density is too high, you have no subsurface scattering. And you can tell that by going to either the transmission or the SSS tabs. Let's drag the albedo to the albedo. And that's pretty cool. That's our texture. Now we can have the fingers be more red a little bit, and we can add a mix node and then add a color correction node, then drag our color system, the noise with the gradient, to the color correction, plug it into the texture 1 in the mixture, and then drag the dirt node to the amount of the mixture. Now let's drag that into the albedo and make the color correction just slightly higher on the gamma, maybe a bit more red. And you can see that the black shows the texture 1 and the white shows texture 2. Our fingers are now a bit more red, which is kind of cool. It's a nice little look. Yeah, looking beautiful. It's rich with colors, but it's subtle, it's clean. Nice. So let's copy our texture and let's try a darker skin. So we're going to go to our gradient and just choose darker colors, and immediately you can see the problem. The transmission becomes way stronger as the albedo gets darker. So once we turn our albedo darker, it starts to look like a gummy bear, like a gummy hand, I guess. So we need to tone down our transmission, basically make it darker. So let's make the brighter color much darker, and the darker color much darker. We're getting somewhere. Let's crank up our density on the random walk, and voila. Much better. The albedo system looks pretty good. And what I like to do, what I found to be more interesting, is to give a different color in the transmission channel. It works better on darker skins. If we go to the transmission channel and we set it at kind of like a bright turquoise, you can see that it adds an interesting undertone. It adds an interesting undertone without changing the color of the skin. And that's very important when you deal with skins. They have undertones. It's a pretty complex color. We see it as kind of like a single color, but really painters will tell you that whenever they paint skins, they start with like a green or a blue undertone or a whatever undertone, and then they add the skin color on top of it, and it gives the color a subtle richness to it. So that's our way of doing it in 3D. And if we compare it, if I bring the transmission back to red, you can see that it doesn't change the color, but it just makes it slightly different, slightly richer. Yeah, less like chocolate or something. A bit more complex than a single color. Okay, so we're done with that. Now let me show you quickly how to approach something like moles. So I'm going to copy the white skin. Now I'm going to add a noise, and I'm going to set the noise to circular. I'm going to adjust the gamma and the contrast until we get just kind of spots. And if I add a transform and just play around with it, with the size and the contrast and the gamma, you can see that I'm starting to get these weird spots. And if I play with the octaves and the gamma and the omega, I can add a little distortion to them. Then I'm going to add a mixed texture, drag our color system to texture 1, and drag a RGB spectrum to texture 2, and then give it like a darker color. And plug that into the albedo, and there you go. Our noise is masking that RGB spectrum that we added. And we're not done here. We want to make these bumpy. We're going to add an add node, drag our bump map in, drag the noise through a gradient node to the add node. And let's make the white on the gradient node darker, sorry. And drag that into our coding bump and regular bump. And now you see it adds that as a bump. And we can make it darker, even darker, to bring down the bumpiness of it. It's up to you. And the last thing we need is we want to mask out the transmission wherever the moles are. Because again, the moles are darker, so they're going to have a stronger transmission wherever they are. So for that, we're going to add a multiply node, and we're going to drag our transmission gradient in, and then drag our mole noise through a gradient node, reverse that gradient node, and drag that into our multiply node. We drag it into the transmission. Now this is our regular transmission map, and this is the one mixed with the noise. And let's change the black to a dark red, so the moles will have a little bit of transmission and we'll get a little bit of that subsurface scattering. And now it's looking way better. And that's pretty much it. You can add a color correction node to the gradient and kind of play with the gamma, make it lighter or darker. But you got to remember, whenever you make it darker, you got to adjust the transmission and the SSS. So you can make tiny adjustments with the color correction, but if you want a different skin color, you want to create a new material for that. And if we crank up the light from the back, you can see how it reacts to the light. It's strong on the subsurface scattering, but I like it that way. And let's kind of play around with the lighting, add a side light. I think it looks really good. And this is how it looks on a foot, you know, which that's the cool thing about a procedural texture. You can use it on every part of the body. And here's how it looks on a face. I just dragged it on the face and made it more pink, put it on the nose. And yeah, that is how you do it. And if we add some hands, which next tutorial I'm going to show you how to model and how to rig, so that's going to be really cool. But yeah, this is how you do it. I like this approach of showing different approaches to different skin colors, different imperfections on the skin, and most importantly, keeping it procedural. I love keeping things procedural. It's faster, it's more convenient. You're not dependent on images and resolutions and tileability and all those things. It's the healthiest type of material. And if you can, you should keep it procedural. So that's it. Go to my Gumroad, buy this pack. You can't imagine how much this helps me. I want to just keep making these tutorials more and more. And if this can pay my rent, I can make more. And I have so much more. I have a huge list of upcoming tutorials and ideas and things like that. So stay tuned. And that's it. I love you. Hope you have a good day. Peace.